Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before we can use this Raspberry Pi 4 for astrophotography session, in this video I am going to teach you guys how to install Indy drivers for camera and mounts and also Indy web server so that we can control the cameras remotely or locally using K-Stars. Before we do that, if you have not seen my previous video on how to install the operating system on Raspberry Pi 4 and also how to control your Raspberry Pi 4 remotely through remote desktop, please watch the videos. I will keep the links in this video and put it in the description as well for you guys to check it out. Please ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you do not miss out on any important information that I have to share. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon so that you get the notifications for all my new videos. Let's get started. So to start with the installation of Indy driver programs, first we need to open the terminal as usual. Find the terminal, click it. Once the terminal window is open, first thing we need to do is to bring our system to the latest update by issuing the command sudo apt update and update all the repositories which are present on Raspberry Pi 4. Don't worry guys, as usual, if you do not understand the process, just follow the commands that I have and I will put all the commands in the description below. So next thing we need to do is to upgrade the packages which are upgradable by doing another command which is sudo apt upgrade. So this will upgrade all the packages which are available on this Raspberry Pi 4 to the latest patch level. So the next thing that we need to do here is to install the Raspberry Pi library. This we can do it by putting another command which is sudo apt install lib raspberry pi -bin. This will install all the Raspberry Pi related libraries on your Ubuntu Raspberry Pi version. Once it is installed, next thing we need to do is to remove any and all the softwares which are not required on your Raspberry Pi 4. This we can do by another command which is called sudo apt auto remove. Once all the non-essential packages are removed from your system is now clean and ready to install the Indy drivers. So now let's get started by installing the Indy drivers with the fresh terminal window. Here we need to issue the command to add the repository for the drivers first. So the command for adding the repository is sudo apt-add repository space ppa mutlaqja/ppa. Once the command is issued, it will start adding the repository to your Raspberry Pi 4 repository list. Once the repository is added and updated automatically, the next command that we need to issue is to update the latest repository list in your Raspberry Pi 4 by issuing the command sudo apt update. Once the repository list is updated, we'll try and install the Indy drivers library. This we can do it by issuing a command called sudo apt-get install indy-full. Enter. It will try and install the Indy drivers. If you get some error like this, is because of the stable version does not have the full repository. So now we need to update the repository from stable version to the nightly version. That we can do is by issuing the same command, replacing the last PPA with Indy nightly. So this will update your current repository for Indy drivers from stable version to the nightly version. This is not the stable version, but as you got the error for the stable version, it is better to update it to the nightly version, and it worked fine for me. As you can see, the repositories are being updated and downloaded from stable version to the nightly version. Once the repository is updated, we need to again update our system to ensure that our system knows that the new repository has been added by issuing again the command sudo apt update. Once your system is updated, now we'll try and install the Indy drivers again. by issuing the same command sudo apt-get install ind-full. So once you are prompted to continue, press Y and hit enter. This will download all the possible drivers which are required for your astrophotography session from the repository of Indy. So Indy drivers will all be there on your system. Once the installation is complete, your system will contain all the possible drivers which are required for your astrophotography session from all the manufacturers of your cameras, for your mount, and everything else that you need for astrophotography session. So next thing that we need to install is Indy Web Manager. Before we install Indy Web Manager, we need to install Python pip. To do that, we have to issue a command called sudo apt install python 3-pip. This will download the Python and pip process to install the Indy Web server. It will take some time to download, so be patient and wait. It will download all the required software and drivers and commands that are required to install Indy Web server. Now since the Python has installed, now we'll install the web manager itself. To do that, we need to issue a command called sudo -H pip3 install Indy Web. This will download and install the Indy Web server on the system. So this is what we are installing through the pip process, which is why we required Python 3-pip library to compile and install this Indy Web Manager. So wait for it, it will finish very quickly and install Indy Web Manager on Raspberry Pi 4 system. Once the installation is complete, next thing we need to do is to disable the sleep function of Ubuntu for Raspberry Pi 4. As I have observed, Ubuntu after some point of time puts the Raspberry Pi on sleep, so we need to disable this function so that we can use this Raspberry Pi 4 for long astrophotography session. To do that, we have to issue a command called sudo systemctl mask sleep.target suspend.target hibernate.target hybrid-sleep.target. What this will do is disable the sleep function in all possible methods or processes that we have configured in Ubuntu. So as you can see, this command is executed. Now let us quickly verify if this is working. That we can do by issuing a command which is sudo systemctl status sleep.target. Once you issue this command, you can see the sleep function has been masked properly. So next thing that we need to do is to manage our network services as well. To do that, we have to issue another command. Here we'll issue the command called sudo nano /etc/netplan/50-cloud-init.yml. So this is the file in which we'll configure the network as well, so that network doesn't go to sleep as well. And you have to put in the information which is provided to you in the description below. You can save the file by using Ctrl+X, then hit Y and enter. This will save the file, and now the only thing left is to reboot. To reboot the system, you have to issue another command called sudo reboot. Once you hit enter, system will restart. So the next thing in the list we need to do is to write the service for Ubuntu so that your web server starts automatically. To do that, we need to write a service file. We can do that by issuing a command sudo nano /etc/system/d/system/indywebmanager.service. So as you know, it will again open a file for us to edit in this command prompt. I will put the data of this file in the description below so that you can copy paste and you do not make any mistake. If you understand this is fine. If you do not understand, like I told you, please follow the instruction as I told you and everything will be fine. So in this file, only thing that you need to change is to replace the user with the user that you created on your Ubuntu system. For me, it is Astro Shooting Stars. So you can see here, my user here is Astro Shooting Stars. Rest all you need to keep exactly same. So now, since you have pasted the information and updated the user, you can save the file by hitting Ctrl X and then flush the buffer by hitting Y and then enter to save the file. Since service file is now created, now we need to start the service. This we can do it in 3 steps. So the first step is to issue the first command. So first command is sudo systemctl daemon-reload. So this is the first command. This will reload your server. Next thing we need to do is to enable the Indie Web Manager service. This we can do by another command called sudo systemctl enable Indie Web Manager .service. Please note that this is the exact same file name that we created in the previous step. Once you hit enter, the service will be started. To ensure that the service is started at the restart, first we need to do is to reboot the system. So let's reboot the system by command sudo reboot. Once the system is rebooted, you will see again the Astro Shooting Stars login page on your Ubuntu. So just hit enter and enter your password to login or connect your remote service. Now let's verify if the Indie Web Manager service is working. That you can do by issuing the command sudo systemctl status Indie Web Manager .service and then press enter. If you're running for the first time, you need to put the password. So as you can see here in the status, it is showing as active. You can come back to the command prompt again by hitting Ctrl+C. So guys, with this we are done with installation of Indie Web Server as well. So now let us quickly verify if the server is working fine or not. To do that, we need to open the browser. You can open any preferred browser that you want. You have Firefox and Chromium. I'm going to use Chromium for this test. So once the Chrome browser is loaded, you need to type in an address of your local server. To do that, you have to put an address called http:// your IP address, which is 192.168.100.101. For my Raspberry Pi, you have to replace this IP address with the IP address of your own. You have to put colon and port number is 8624. So this is the port or default port on which your Indie Web service is running. If the page loads correctly, that means your Indie Web server is properly installed. If it does not load, please follow the steps again above. If you would have made any mistakes in the files that you created, ensure that it exactly matches with the information that I have provided in the description or in the video. It looks exactly same. So now, since the web server is running properly, the last thing that we need to do is to update the web service permissions. To do that, we have to again create another file. To create the file, we have to issue another command, which is called sudo nano/etc/rc.local. This will again open an editor in your command prompt. Here also you have to copy paste the information that I have shared in the description below. Just replace the username with the username of your system. Here I have the username as Astro Shooting Stars. You have to replace this username with the username of the Ubuntu operating system that you have on your Raspberry Pi 4. Once you replace the user, just save the file by hitting Ctrl X, write the buffer by Y and hit enter to save the file. So basically with this file, what it does, it gives the Indie Web server permissions to start and stop the server automatically or remotely, or reboot your Raspberry Pi. Now to make this file executable, you have to put another command which is called chmod 755/etc/rc.local. This will make this file executable and this will give the permission to your web server to restart the services. Now only thing left is to reboot the system to make this final. To reboot the system, as we know now, is to issue the command called sudo reboot. Once your system is rebooted, this will finish the installation of Indie drivers and Indie web services. So this is it, guys. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll try and answer as soon as possible. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to get the notifications for all my new videos. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching, and clear skies.